Hello and welcome to the Harry Man Show, episode 77. Today we have the whole band in the house from Silence is Madness. These guys are from Omaha, Nebraska, and they're coming to Phoenix to kind of get into the scene and do some great stuff. I'm going to introduce them. We have Jeff on guitar.
Jerry on guitar as well.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Mason. I play bass sometimes.
Jake on drums.
And I'm Kent, also on drums.
Nice. So you guys don't have a singer?
No.
Yeah, we're instrumental, dude.
I like to think as
kind
the
of like a King
drums
Crimson
as
kind
the
of thing.
vocals.
The Spinal Tapist. Yeah. They're coming out in the sequel too, by the way.
Throw all the vocal abilities on the drum set.
So, welcome and thanks for being here. So, let me start off the big question: why Phoenix?
Because the rest of them didn't want to move to fucking London.
Yeah.
Was that really an option?
No, yeah. Jerry and I really how it went.
No, I mean these two are like super insistent on London, and like, I mean whatever.
It would have been fun.
But
Yeah. So-
but like seriously, we were thinking of moving to like Denver.
Yeah.
And London was obviously not serious. You
Say
know,
that.
I was not serious
But
whatsoever.
if you're not committed,
But yeah, we were the only other one that was really on the table was Denver, and we took a trip there. Like, when was that? Like,
last summer. Or
Yeah.
the summer before last summer.
like
yeah.
basically like right in the middle of COVID.
Yep.
And
Responsible.
You know,
hey man,
as one
we're invincible, dude.
It
We're
doesn't
gonna-
exist in Denver. It's fine.
But yeah, we took a trip there and like it was really cool. But we talked to a few people and we kind of heard that the scene was pretty dead after COVID kind of shut everything down.
I can see that.
But yeah, I mean, Havoc is from Denver and they're like one of my favorite bands. So we kind of all just like threw that out there just randomly. But I mean, Phoenix is a really good place to be because it's the cost of living. I guess you know
It was.
it was relatively okay. I mean, it's definitely better than LA.
Yeah.
But it's close enough to LA where it's,
exactly.
Yeah, where we can actually fucking do shit.
And that's like why we settled on Phoenix. It was the closest to LA we could get without being in LA.
Right,
And
exactly.
Vegas, and you got Vegas.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Albuquerque the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
We also
I have to
one-
say that's a pretty smart demographic move.
Totally. And there's a lot of metal in Phoenix. Like a lot of like big people in like the metal scene live in Phoenix.
Mhm.
You know, the guys from Megadeth, Alice Cooper. I could probably name a bunch more, but like, yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's like LA, but not as expensive and still close enough to where like we don't really have to like go out of our way and like get a bunch of hotel rooms and everything if we want to tour and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think you guys made a
So-
wise move there.
Yeah.
I mean, and like we went up to Flagstaff to see a show.
Oh yeah, Flagstaff's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
and that's
love
the
Flagstaff so
thing. I mean, it's 2 hours away, and there's
Yeah.
a decent scene there. And I mean, 2 hours away from Omaha is Des Moines, which I don't know if you or anybody listening has ever made the drive from Omaha to Des Moines.
No.
But it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's 2 hours of
There's
pure hell, dude.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's how the Midwest
The
is.
fucking closest thing is Kansas City, and
Whoa.
that's basically just Omaha 2.0.
Like Phoenix to Flagstaff is like it does not feel like 2 hours at all because you're like, oh,
scenery.
cool, nice.
yeah, it's
the closest thing you have to a mountain is the bluffs.
It's an
Those are
enjoyable
Yeah.
drive.
Pretty small.
Yeah.
Totally.
So how is Phoenix welcoming you guys? Like, how do you guys? What was your first reaction to it besides the heat? I know, but
I mean, we got here in February, so we were like, hell yeah, this is sick.
we left when it was frigid.
It was
Really?
-1 outside.
Yeah.
No, it was
Yeah.
-2. I remember my car saying negative.
And even when we stopped for the night in Albuquerque, and it was snowing.
Yeah, it was
Got there.
cold
so,
as
yeah,
shit.
No, it was cold as hell.
And then we got here and it was like 80.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
fucking fantastic. And now I walked out the other day at work, and I was like, it's like 90 degrees. You know, this is kind of hot. And everybody looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. And they're like, dude.
Yeah.
fuck off.
Bro, I mean, so last year we took a vacation down here, which is kind of what solidified our decision to move here. And every day we were down here like the end of June to just after
I mean,
the
we
4th
were
of July.
Yeah, we were here during 4th.
Yeah. I lost my glasses on the 4th of July. That fucking sucked.
That's a story.
Yeah. Fucking. Yeah, like every day we were here, it was like well in the 110 plus range. A couple of the days we were here, it was like rainy all day, which was really cool to see. These
Yeah.
guys went to emo night. And while they were at emo night,
It was pouring.
Yeah, we were staying at our buddy Greg's house, and I was just chilling in his camper watching this thunderstorm roll in. I was like, dude, this is peace.
And it's like,
this is
of course we get here, and like everyone's like doing wisecrack, like lame small talk jokes. Me like, oh, do you guys bring the humidity with you from Omaha? And shit?
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, what are the odds of us being here like the week that it rains all week?
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
So I know you guys have been playing shows. How's the venues been for you, and like what are the bands that have been supporting you guys and helping you guys out?
So the first show that we played in Phoenix was actually a house show in Tempe.
Huh.
I think it's they call their like house venue like 2412, I think.
Yeah.
Something.
2412.
Are you guys familiar with First Fridays yet?
Oh
Yeah, we went
yeah.
down there once. Yeah.
But yeah, like
pretty lit.
our first show was a house show with the two bands that we actually just played with on the 13th, Throat Check and Destination. And it was, I mean, relatively packed as far as house shows go. Like there was
it was a good turnout. Yeah.
30, 40 people maybe.
Going to house shows is always scary because it's so uncertain as to how it's
Right.
going to turn out. Because
Right.
you don't know if you're going to a place where, I mean, there's somebody at the door charging and actually like,
Right.
doing shit, and they actually have a decent setup, or you're just going to some fucking lunatic's shithole.
Yeah.
And luckily, it wasn't the second this time around.
Yeah.
No, it was really
they
cool.
they were fantastic. No,
But
they're
yeah, like
great hosts.
that was our first show, and then our second show was just super like out of the blue. So I got in contact with this band called Winter Haven. I actually went to Brett Fox's show.
Excellent musician, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, everyone was really good, and they were headlining the show. And they came down from Flagstaff, and like right away, I was really blown away by them. They were like super talented. Like their singer is like really pitch perfect, especially not even like being able to hear himself for the most part. And yeah, they were just like really cool guys. I talked to them after the show. I like gotten good with their manager Jamie, super cool guy, and yeah, we just kind of hit it off right away. But I went to see one of their, well, I guess we all, like, what was it? Me, Ken, Jake, and
Up
Mason,
in
right?
Flagstaff?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was me, Mason, Jake, and you. Yeah.
And we were just up there to see him, and we were hanging out behind the venue, and Jamie, their manager, was like on the phone, like looking like he was kind of panicking, and he came up to us and he was like, "You guys want to do a show tomorrow?" And we were like, "Fuck it! I mean,
Yeah.
as long as Ken can get it off." And Jesse luckily responded right away, saying like he was cool for it, and
And I got off.
More than once.
I got fucking off.
that's not what I was referring to though.
Doesn't
We all
fucking
helped him
matter,
get
man. I got
I'm telling a nice, serious story here, and
This
was a 10-hand job.
I can. I heard you guys whispering over there the whole time that I was talking.
We weren't
Oh,
whispering shit.
yeah,
No, we
whatever.
weren't.
But
Where's your
yeah,
evidence, man?
fuck off. But yeah, we just happened to get that show because we were kind of in the right place at the right time. And it was in Prescott at this place called The Den. Super cool place. If you know any like rock metal bands are ever in Prescott, or like want to play a show in northern Arizona, that is the place to be. It's a really cool spot.
It was fucking sweet. And what's nice about it is it was a dry venue.
Right.
Like there wasn't. I mean, they didn't sell liquor there.
It was like
which I was
all
kind of
ages,
taken aback because
basically.
I've never played anything like that. But it's nice because it gives people that are underage that want to go to shows but end up getting kicked out
Right.
for one reason or another because of that. A place to go, and people that just don't want to be in that kind of drinking environment in general. So
But yeah,
it's-
Steven, the dude that runs that place, is super cool. I talked to him for quite a while when I first got there and everything. They actually did a collab with Vans, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I was just in their like kind of like side room. It was like basically his studio, and there was like a couple like super sick pairs of Vans that had their logo on it, and I was like, "Yo, those are dope." He was like, "Yeah, dude. Believe it or not, Vans actually collab with us on those. Like, those aren't even custom." And I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
Well, I have to say you guys are going to do really well here with your guys' sound.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
man.
I've been-
Yeah.
Seriously,
Your two songs I've been listening to have actually been an earworm to me.
thank you so much. dude.
Which two are those?
The Prophets one and the one for the video. Electric Sheep.
And Prophet of War.
Prophet of
is
War,
the other
yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are a hell of a live band.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we try.
I could definitely hear some influences, and I mean it as a compliment. I know
What?
you discussed this, but there's definitely a little Tenacious D in there.
Yeah, bro. He said that shit earlier today, and I was like, I just like kind of like,
And I mean,
You
as
just fucking embrace it, man.
yeah, fair
no, but
enough.
I mean as a
Yeah. I feel it.
wholeheartedly compliment Jack Black as a badass.
Yeah.
I can see it in you too.
I knew this was gonna come up.
It literally,
It always
He
fucking
gets it
comes
every
up.
day.
It never doesn't come up.
We go to a restaurant and they're like, you know who you look like.
Yeah, I fucking know who I look like.
we're not even playing the show. Literally every
Jesus.
show we play, people that have never seen us before go up to Kent and they're like, "Oh, you're totally like Jack Black, dude, sick."
Actually, last show when I had my shirt off, when I popped it off, and I was
looked like
covered
Kung Fu Panda,
in
yeah.
and then I literally,
Poe? Is
as
that
I
you?
was
Poe?
walking around, as I was prancing around the bar. While one of you was fucking soloing, one guy pulled me aside. He was like, "Yo, you look like sexy Jack Black."
That's a
I'm like,
compliment.
Black
"Oh,
is
no, I'll
sexy.
take it.
That's
Jack Black is
yeah,
already a
fucker.
fucking, hunkalicious. But I mean, yeah, no, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
So, question I have for you.
Uh-huh.
This is obviously the called the Hairy Man Show.
Yes.
I want to know, does the carpet match the pubes, man?
How hairy are you really, Dustin?
I don't know. As age goes, it kind of goes away now. I guess
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's a bell curve of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You're
puberty
joking
hits
about
around
having
like
hair, just calling
31.
you hairy.
So do you prefer Harry or Harold?
Yeah. So Harry.
But I kind of want to get into your guys' like comic book origin story. I know Jeff's the newest addition to the band, but how did it start in the Omaha for you?
So, I started playing drums when I was 13, and pretty soon after, when I was in 8th grade, I started going to School of Rock Omaha.
Oh, nice.
And while I was there, pretty early on, I met our first guitarist. I met our singer, and I knew Mason from school. He just told me that one day that he played bass just kind of off the cuff, and up to that point, like all the other bassists I had been in like high school bands with and stuff, that didn't even make it out of the garage. They were like super unreliable, never showed up to practice, didn't practice,
Yeah.
So I just asked him one morning when I was like, I need to put together a band. So I asked him, you play bass, right? And he's like, oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got it, man.
You should have said I have a bass.
Well, that's what he told me originally.
That was the intent.
So you're pretty much the Nick Fury of the shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so it was originally just a 4-piece, and then pretty early on we were like, okay, we need to fatten up the sound. And Jesse was in a few of my School of Rock groups, but like he intimidated the shit out of me, so I just did not talk to him at all. And it was Kelsey that asked you to come rehearse, right? Yeah, so his first rehearsal with us was at a Guitar Center.
Classic. GC Omaha.
February 2016, I want to say. But yeah, and so we've gone through 2 guitarists other than Jeff, 1 singer other than Kent, and then us 3, Jesse, Mason, and myself, have been here the whole time. And it's been a ride, man.
So,
Oh, yes.
how did he get introduced to this?
Oh boy, this is my favorite story, dude. So, our original singer left, and we were pretty bummed because our first singer was a girl, and
So am I.
yes, you are. So
On the show?
we had advertised, that we were looking for a singer, and at first we were trying to kind of stick with the same sound and get another female singer and just stay close to that really high operatic sound. And we weren't having a whole lot of luck finding people that really gelled with us or people that could like commit to it.
Or in our age range.
Yeah. So one day we got an email from this guy right here.
An email.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was an email.
It was formal.
And
I am out of touch,
and
man.
he says
Everything.
he says something along the lines of, "Hi, my name is Kent Johnson. I have little to no experience singing in a band. I've never performed live. I have very limited musical background." And at this point, we were, at least 3 or 4 months on without a singer, and we were like, fuck, we already played all of our shows with Kelsey that she promised to do, and we were like, all right, let's bring this guy in. So we brought him in, and unlike the other guy that auditioned with little to no musical experience, this guy could actually hold a tune. He sang really, really well on just some covers we did, which were just like Live Wire by Motley Crue and Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold.
I think that's the only reason why, because I had never heard Live Wire before that.
Oh, right on.
Before that. And the only reason I knew Shepherd of Fire is because of the fucking Zombies Map Origins.
Oh, right on.
Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. No, yeah, that's the only reason why I fucking love that song. And I was like, because you guys gave me like a list to do, and I was like, I don't know any of this fucking shit. Because I do now a little bit, but I've never listened to fucking Megadeth and shit. And now I know the songs that we do, but that's pretty much the extent of it for the most part. But yeah, I mean, Shepherd of Fire was pretty much the only song out of the bunch where I was like, oh, shit, I know that one. If not for only because of a fucking meme potential, but it's a good song.
So what was that, between the three of you, what was the main influences for you guys?
Jess, you want to start, man?
I don't know. The Beatles go back all the way from being a kid, obviously.
I think we can all agree with that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably
for
the most consistent influence, I would say, between all 5 of us.
Totally.
But I mean, I grew up on a lot of fucking 2000s new metal, so I grew up Disturbed, all that shit, and then Avenged Sevenfold that were influenced too.
You had a good mix between the two, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, after you guys rehearsed, how long before you guys were kind of moving around the scene in Omaha?
Almost right away.
Shit,
honestly.
man. Yeah. So
we got thrown in Kelsey's garage.
Yeah. So the band formed officially, and I can tell you this with certainty: January 23rd, 2016. And
he's like the bookkeeper at this band.
Yeah,
man.
For sure.
I
can't remember what
an entire fucking VH1 behind the music on this whole thing. So, we started in January. We rehearsed pretty much only covers. We had our first show, which was our original singer Kelsey's graduation party on May 24th, 2016. And then right after that, we had our first show at a proper venue on June 3rd. And that was at a place called the Down Under Lounge. And, man, I am just so grateful to that place, endlessly.
They humored us a lot.
Yeah, because really, we were kids, and really the person that got us that show was partly my mom, who acted as band manager for a very long time.
That's a good mom.
And mostly the manager of School of Rock at that time, because she had connects there and all that. And we played our first show there, and we played, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of just straight covers of just songs we all collectively knew from School of Rock.
Nice.
And it was like that for pretty much the rest of 2016 into 2017. We were just mostly a cover band. And we wrote our first songs in 2016, and from 2016 to 2018, Silence is Madness was pretty much just a cover band.
Really?
And then once 2018 rolled around, we kind of had buckled down and had written a good set list worth of original material. And because of our roots doing covers, we were pretty severely underestimated around the Omaha scene, which is why the change to the Phoenix scene has been really good, because people have just been blown away by us, whereas Omaha, people liked us in Omaha. They loved us, the last couple years we were there, but from 2016 to at least 2019, we were just trying to escape that, little kid,
Yeah.
kind of image.
Well, and then
So
up until now, we were kids.
Yeah.
Because we're
really.
still like.
You guys
20
are fairly young.
Yeah,
Like,
because like we're still 22 to 25. For the sake of like people that have been in the scene for a long time, we are kids.
Right.
Yeah, like
So
this
it's
band
really-
started when I was 15.
Yeah, so it's really easy when we walk into a bar, really anywhere, whether it's in Phoenix,
Totally.
Omaha, anywhere else, and you see a bunch of kids, like our kids, and it's really easy for like all like the older rocker guys to be like, oh, who's that, like,
Yeah.
It's very reassuring
yeah.
to
Yeah.
come to a scene with fresh faces.
Totally.
Just because with playing in Omaha, we did, people viewed us as, being a kid band because, I mean, for a large majority, even when I joined, the first year or so, we were still a kid band. We were viewed as that. I mean, some of us were underage still. So it's so reassuring to come from a place where people have seen us for ages and they loved us. Like the Omaha scene is fantastic. The
sure.
music scene is very supportive. It's fantastic. I love it. It's just always the same faces, and it's nice. It's nice that you have that group of people that go out and support
Yeah.
live music, and we love each one of them for it. I mean,
Like, I feel like the biggest thing with Omaha, like, and it's obviously not anyone's fault, but like, it's really hard to jump from like the waiting room and the reverb and some of the like relatively big venues for local bands.
It's easy
and
to
like,
oversaturate.
yeah, and it's easy to oversaturate, and it's really hard to jump from that to like the Sokol and the Slowdown and like kind of like auditoriums and arenas, because like
It's so small.
yeah
So there's pretty much limitations.
yeah, like you kind of hit a ceiling, and it's really hard to get past that unless you're
Who were the bigger acts in that scene? Or people that came out of it?
well, what would you say is the
were-
biggest band in
I would
Omaha?
say
11. Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Arson City.
Arson
Who's
City.
311's from Omaha?
Yeah.
Or Silence.
Yeah, I
didn't know that. I thought
You
they
never
were
knew that?
I thought they were California.
No, they're from Omaha, Nebraska.
they
Dude.
sound like they're from fucking California.
Yeah.
Our
Could've fooled me on that one.
Or
boys
at least trying.
from this day forward. Shit, who else?
I mean,
The
Arson
Midnight
City,
Devils.
Midnight
the
Devils.
Midnight Devils. I would say Arson City is
Or
probably
Arson
the
City.
biggest
Yeah.
band in Omaha.
Devil in the Details is pretty big.
Yeah, Devil in the
yeah,
Details
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
Devil in the Details.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest ones you'll see like popping off in the Omaha scene right now though would be bands like Choked Out or High Card Killer.
Yeah, they just
Tale
played with
Untold.
Gohor actually, dude.
Yeah, they did. That's true.
I was like, whoa, nice.
Yeah, we made so many friends in that scene, and yeah, we're just really grateful to be, all five of us just on the same page of let's take everything we've ever known, especially about this band, move it across country and just see what happens.
Yeah, and like I feel like we were getting to that point
Yeah.
in Omaha. Like we were almost there, but like we were all willing to take it to another city and see where that goes, and like we were all kind of like, why wait to peak?
Yeah.
Like we definitely had room to grow in Omaha for sure. Like it's not like we're too good for Omaha or what. Yeah, not at all. Like there was plenty of bands that were way bigger than us in Omaha, but like I feel like we kind of made the conscious decision to like save that peak and that that potential and put it in a bigger market and just like Jake said, kind of see what happens.
Do everything we can while we still can.
Exactly.
The moral of the story is you just got to go where the action is. And unfortunately, I mean, like I said, as great as a lot of the Midwest venues and community is, and not even in Omaha, but in Des Moines and Kansas City,
Sioux
and
City.
Sioux Falls, and all that shit.
There's Sioux Falls. my bad.
Everybody's supportive of each other. We know bands in all those cities. They know us here. But unfortunately, you got to go where the action is.
And like we don't have any responsibilities. Like why not?
Yeah, this is the time.
Commit.
Yeah. So when was it when you guys did the first recording as a band? I don't know if you were on the recent.
I just joined right after they finished the first album, basically.
So 2016, we recorded a homemade demo that had, I think that was originally supposed to have 5 songs on it, but it ended up having 3.
What was the fifth? What was the fourth and fifth song then?
Shit, I think it might have been like Welcome Home and another song. I couldn't tell you honestly, so long ago. 2017, no, early 2018, we recorded basically an entire EP, and as we were getting like final mixes and stuff done, our first singer made the decision to leave the band, and we were like, well, shit, I guess we're gonna scrap that.
Oh man.
And
Yeah.
I mean, we still have the recordings.
They're
but
really good. They sound awesome.
Yeah,
They
we
sound
just
fantastic. Yeah.
we just didn't want to
They go 'em out.
put something out that wasn't entirely
Well,
representative of our
and-
sound, you know?
And that, and like when Kent was coming in, you know, we had a bunch of shows. We were booked with Kent,
Right.
some without Kent. Kent's still learning the songs, and like by the time that we would have gotten him comfortable to go in and finish recording, you know, the producer that was already producing that would have already been moved on to other stuff.
Right.
So it's just like for scheduling conflicts.
So did you guys do it at a studio or do it yourself?
We did it at a studio,
Nice.
and, you know, another part of that is the fact that we just already wrote X amount more songs, and we were like, well, I mean, we want all of these on the first thing we release, so, you know.
Do you see the evolution of studios kind of going away or making a comeback with the way technology is now?
I
I
think
see him going away for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Home studios are on the run.
no,
Yeah.
It's just
and especially.
But I
mean,
think I see like maybe not necessarily like studio like you know $1 million, you know, couple $1 million studios. I see studios like this becoming more popular where you can go and get drum tracks done,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
that are still really professional, but like are focused towards drums, because that's the one thing that you can't really do at home unless you really know what you're doing. Like guitar, I mean, throw a couple mics in front of a cab, like watch a couple of YouTube. I mean, that's what I did for a second album. Like it literally is not like rocket science as far as guitars go, but like I think these kind of studios will kind of almost like somewhere in between like a full-on studio and like
I
a
still
home
refer
studio.
to this as a drum room more than a studio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like drum rooms specifically, like
Yeah.
I feel like are going to start becoming more popular because it fills the niche perfectly. Everyone can do DI and stuff at home,
Yeah.
or if you know how to record real amps, and then get your drums done at somewhere where someone actually knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
and then either have that person mix it or have someone mix it who you like the mix of or whatever.
Yeah.
But I definitely see like these kind of studios becoming more.
So do you guys
popular.
feel like technology is taking away from an experience of learning, or
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah,
say that.
a little bit of column A, a little bit. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Is most technology.
Yeah, but no one can drop a mill on a console. And,
Right.
No, yeah.
like
And that's, I mean, if you look at like why you would go to school and get an education in music production, most of the reason you're doing that is so you'd have
Develop it.
access
Yeah.
Right.
to that sort of equipment.
Totally.
And I mean, that's still in an era where music is being treated more as a business than anything else.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, there was revolutions in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, within its own pockets of genres as it moved from the one big thing to the next.
yeah,
But it was still being treated as a business more than anything else.
yeah,
And I feel like now, with this sort of home recording, home experimentation, you're able to get this true creative freedom.
yeah,
out of
totally.
it.
you're not
And you-
counting pennies as you fucking
No,
Exactly.
and you don't have they don't
Totally.
bring producers on board that know their sound, know the sound that sells, and
Yeah.
they pretty much look at the work that you've created and just kind of pump it full of whatever they're going to do with it in order
Right.
to monetize it.
yeah,
I feel like there is the future is definitely in collaborations between
Right.
songwriters and bands, and specifically producers who treat producing the music as an instrument in and of itself.
So I know
Totally.
you guys are obviously an upcoming band. You're, like I said, you're going to do great things. But do you guys feel? I know you guys do a podcast as well. But do you guys feel the need to always push out content?
Yeah.
Content. I mean, and like, so what do you guys do to kind of keep that
we're learning.
Yeah.
We are certainly learning on that.
Just kind of come up with
front.
shit while we're all standing
And
in the
that's-
kitchen, to be honest.
I think it's.
Oh, I love that fucking Mountain Dew, whatever it was.
Oh
dude.
my dude, that shit was
fucking
cringe as hell. But I mean, it's content.
As stupid as
You don't like Rolling Rock? Fuck you!
as stupid as it is, I think. I mean, and
But
that's
I watched the whole thing.
Oh yeah, thank you.
and that's part of growing up. That's part of gaining confidence in yourself and your ability. Is really trusting the stupid decisions that you're gonna make. I mean, it's like our stage show.
Yeah, totally.
It's like the fact that at first when we started out, we want to make it as cool and flashy as humanly possible, but then we start to realize we play to our strengths, which is keeping the flashy, but kind of getting more ridiculous with it to the point of we're good at being weird.
You know,
Yeah.
that's one
Because
thing.
we're fucking
Weird.
we are a weird group
Well,
of
we
guys.
lean
That's
into
why
it.
I have
You
to
know?
applaud you guys because I can when I watch that Prophets of War. Is that the name of the song? I don't want to butcher.
Yeah,
Prophet of
Prophet
War,
of War.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
But I can see the personalities on stage, and I can see the balance. I can see him as a structure. He's kind of the wild card. You're the main source, and these guys are the rhythm.
Totally.
Yeah, so you guys are doing a great job with that, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You don't see that many bands. I see 3 guys up there just kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For real.
I
We
feel like
strive to not do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
We
I mean,
try
there's
not
a-
to take ourselves seriously either. Like that's such a and obviously if your band is doing well and you like to be brutal and serious and brutal and get in the pit whatever, but I mean I love bands like that, don't get me wrong, like Slipknot London 2002, like I would kill to be at that show. I would give everything I have to be at that show, but at the same time, like for people who aren't really into metal, like I feel like we attract a lot of those people because we put on a really good show. It's not like you're going to see a concert. It's like
not just music. There's
exactly,
antics. There's,
yeah.
Eating a burrito and getting covered in it.
Yeah, like we try not to take ourselves too seriously and show people a good time, and not make it all about the seriousness of the music. Like our music is pretty serious if you listen to the lyrics.
you guys
and
are
everything,
obviously taking it seriously, but you can't take yourself too seriously.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's another pro and con of the evolution of technology and living within this digital era is the fact that you realize now that there is a market for everything.
I don't even know what's big anymore.
People, and that's
Like,
because
everything's big
nothing is
for-
big.
Yeah.
And
Everything's
everything.
big for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's
Nothing-
niche markets that pop
and
up
that's
every 2 seconds.
that's what sucks. I mean, I remember talking to one of my coworkers. She was a host, and she was probably in her 60s, I think. And when I was joining the band, and she was actually very supportive when I was first joining, and kind of nervous about it because I'd never done anything like this. And so, shout out to her. But she was talking about I can't wait to maybe see you one day on the TV, when they're covering bands. And that's the thing is when she's when you're famous, and I use famous in air quotes as everybody on this audio podcast can see, because there's no such thing as famous. I mean, everybody
Right.
is famous in their own pocket. I mean, obviously you have some super celebrities still,
Right.
but I mean, everybody is, as long as you're putting out content and people are reacting well to it, whether that be good or bad, because I mean, there are plenty.
So there's no such thing as making it anymore, is what you're saying.
I mean, there can be.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm
more-
agreeing with what you say, but I remember when I was growing up, it was get a record deal and you made it.
It's a
Right.
spectrum.
Right.
It's a
Yeah, yeah.
spectrum.
But now
There's
yeah.
a lot of criteria to consider before you made it.
And I mean,
Yeah.
you've. I would say making it is your own term at this
Yeah,
point.
you're right,
If
yeah.
whatever you
Sure.
feel like is justifying to yourself
Yeah.
when you say that you've made it. If you've attained your goal, then you've made it.
Yeah, I
you know?
agree with
For
that.
sure.
Actually, it took me about 34 years to realize that.
For real.
So I know you guys have as far as promoting your show, you guys kind of taking the boots on the ground approach, or are you guys kind of using social media to kind of push stuff?
There's kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Because we're all different levels of introverted and extroverted. I would say I'm more on the introverted side. I'm the one that handles all the band's social media. And as far as that goes, I've kind of trial and errored how to play the Instagram and Facebook algorithm to promote as best I can, whereas, you know, Kent, Jesse, and Jeff are the more extroverted of the group, and, you know, they know how to talk to people and, you know, make those in-person connections and bring them to the show. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
For sure.
Yeah. But I know you guys taking a leap of faith. What kind of anxiety was that to move to a new city and kind of live in the same household? And was it like kind of a culture shock, or were you guys kind of just messed right away?
I personally, when we first brought it up, I was like, hell no. Just in my head.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why should we have to go? You know, why should we have to take our shit and go elsewhere?
When
And
was
then
that? When did you guys kind of
We
start
started talking about it at
2018.
2019.
Because the thing is,
Well,
like-
I mean, that's why we went to. That's why we came down here for the summer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because like before I joined the band, they asked, they like kind of, you know, it was a very professional like way to like, you know, audition and like, you know, make
straight
sure
up
someone's
asked
good.
you like if you'd be
Yeah,
willing to
and
do
that's
that,
what I was gonna say. Like basically that they had a couple questions for me, and they're like, one of them was like, would you be willing to move to another city if, you know, the opportunity arises, and you know, we were down to do that basically. And I was like, I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, well,
Yeah.
fucking why not, dude? Whatever.
We
Yeah.
all just kind of came to the realization that, you know, if we don't give it a real shot, you know, just
Right.
moving and making this our main priority, then it's never going to happen.
No,
For sure.
yeah. And
If we don't give it the chance, then nothing's going to come of it, you know?
Well, and a lot of it is just the growing experience as young men, or just not even just young men, just people in general coming up, you know, just getting out there and seeing the world while, you know, you're
Totally.
young, you know, because in Omaha, you know, a lot of the demographic that we just kind of fell into was usually like 35 and up, 40 and up, just because, you know, the type of music that we played and like the stuff that we did on stage like was a lot of 60s, 70s, and 80s stuff. So, you know, we had a lot of middle-aged and older people coming up to us and saying like, get out there and do it while you can, you know, do it while you're young,
For sure.
you know. So we kind of took that and we're like, well,
Last year alone, you know, just, you know, being a member of this band, all 5 of us saw more of the world just last year alone than we've probably ever seen before.
sure.
within a 2-month period, we
we went to like 15 states.
we had
Yeah.
come
16 states.
we had come to Arizona, one state away from the West Coast, and within that next month and a half, we were on the East Coast during our tour.
Jesus.
Because we had traveled from Omaha all the way to East Coast, and we kind of made DC kind of the middle
Yeah.
of the road kind of for that tour, and then we swooped back around down south on the way back.
Are you guys kind of writing for a new album right now, or are you guys just?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
mean,
have
we-
it written.
We have pretty much most of what we need to do left is just kind of vocals, and then additional instrumentation.
Yeah,
some
just
key
Nice.
parts. I've actually
Production stuff.
I played clarinet and saxophone in band
Oh, shit.
in high school and stuff, and I actually just picked up the flute about 2 weeks ago.
We need to add some of that
Because-
shit.
And you've
Because
made
for
it
the last-
everybody's problem.
Jake hates the flute,
It's
bro.
a fucking acoustic instrument. I can't help it.
Ken comes home and goes hi, and then goes upstairs and starts playing some.
He starts playing King Giz on the flute. I'm like, yeah, and like, cause no one else really listens to King Giz like me and Kent do.
Yeah.
And I'll like be like, listen. I'm like, oh, sick, dude. He like picks up King Giz stuff all the time. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, but pretty much for the last 3 songs, there are very specific parts I had in mind, and I have been learning with the flute. And
For sure.
as well with the clarinet, just to add some additional instrumentation.
That's pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, I
It's
think
fun. I'd love to bust it out on stage. I think that'd be fucking.
That would be sick.
Because
dude.
I mean, we already have enough shit with gimmicks, just kind of making it. You know, I mean, I think we're planning on the next show playing chess on stage. And just between breaks and whatever we're doing, just make the next move.
That's actually really cool. That's a good idea.
Fucking
Actually.
stupid.
I mean, we try to, and that's what we try to do. Like when I say like we try to make it a show, like we try to do shit that you've never seen before. You know, like we there's a bunch of shows in Omaha where he did this thing called the Octopus Jig, which we totally stole from the Dubliners. And basically Mason on bass will start this riff, and it's just like total like sea shanty, like easy bullshit riff. And
Look hard enough on our Facebook, you'll find it.
Yeah. And then I'll come up and take his left hand basically and start fretting his bass, and then I'll just like play like open notes, and then Jesse will come up and start fretting my guitar, and then Kent will come up and fret Jesse's guitar. So basically, we're all just like playing each other's instrument at the same time.
That's pretty cool.
And then
Except
Kent
me.
sings the little song.
It's basically the human centipede. But with
Yeah,
instruments.
but like,
And there's
the
and
human
there's less
centipede
graphic, but,
and
you know.
me.
Oh, well, there's and just as much shit involved. Literal shit.
yeah,
So,
and like
We love fecal matter.
we just try to like shit like
One of my
that, or
favorite
like
things.
fucking at Fright Night. What was it? 2021?
Maybe.
2025, I think.
2020.
Okay, Fright Night 2020.
Talking about
Sure.
where we destroyed the
Yeah,
stage.
we pulled the Who and destroyed
Yeah,
everything
I
on
forgot
stage
about
and
that.
shit. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh,
The
it's-
fucking
it
Deep
was so
Purple
fun.
shit.
I
Yeah.
totally broke the headstock off my Flying V, and I did not mean to at all, bro.
We were
Well,
we were at dinner one night after a rehearsal, and we were like, "What are we gonna do at Fright Night to just completely obliterate everybody else playing?" And then, our buddy Luke was like, "You guys should like smash a guitar or something." And immediately, what popped in my head was Deep Purple at
Yeah,
Cal Jam
dude.
1974.
That show's
Richie
sick.
Blackmore
That's so
at the very
fucking
end of their
cool.
set, like destroyed a bunch of guitars, plowed one into a TV camera that was on stage, lit his
So
Marshall
sick.
stack on fire. It exploded, put a hole in the stage, knocked Ian Pace's glasses off his face while he was drumming. Fire. And then,
Everywhere.
yeah, fire everywhere. They finished up their set, and like they were shoved into a helicopter as the cops were on their way to the venue.
Jesus.
Like they were in deep trouble, and they were banned from wherever in California that
They
took
were-
place at.
And they were also in Deep Purple.
And I was like, I was like, we got to do something like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
So Jesse bought a like a
just a-
throwaway cabinet and a shitty BC
ringer.
Rich.
Yeah, we
BC
called it
Rich.
the
the
beer
fucking
ringer.
warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Behringer cab. It sounded like ass.
We called
No.
it the beer ringer because after we fucking spray painted it, the Behringer logo, like I was all like spray to paint it out. So I went to spray paint the logo on the side of the cab, and I accidentally put beer ringer. So we called it the beer ringer.
And fucking and I do you guys remember what the last song of that set was?
Cold Fusion Heart.
Was it Cold Fusion Heart?
Yeah.
Cold
Okay,
Fusion Heart.
that's a fucking banger of a closer.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, as soon as we were ending it up, fucking, I think it Jeff took one of Jake's toms.
No, it wasn't one of mine.
It was just one of
it
the.
just one of the shitty ones?
Yeah, it was just a shitty tom that I had laying around my house from like a
I
first
talked
act
about
kit when I
using
was
one of mine,
5, you know.
Jeff fucking flipped his flying V upside down like he was doing some fucking Aztec ritual shit. And thrust it through the tom head.
And this was part of the plan.
No,
like
this,
this.
oh no, yeah, this was all, I mean,
This was the
scripted,
bit.
but I
Yeah, this
mean,
was
but fucking, and then Jerry fucking took his warlock, dragged out his amp onto the stage, threw it in the center, and started beating the shit out of it.
I stabbed the
Headstock.
Oh,
yeah, because I turned the guitar around and I stabbed it through the speaker cone. So
Badass.
so it was just sitting like this
Yeah.
in the cab, and then I went behind it and kicked the cab over, and then it just completely smashed the headstock
Yeah.
off.
And
So-
And
fucking,
there was like after when you smashed that guitar, dude, that shit was flying to the
Yeah.
audience, like hitting
no,
people
and
and shit, dude.
people took it, yeah.
That was a balsa wood guitar. That was it
And
fell
like,
apart.
and then, like
Fucking-
after we played, people were like bringing chips up to me, and they were like, "Dude, I'm keeping this
Yeah.
forever."
That's cool.
No, but then
one of
I
the
had like
pickups.
I had this like shitty, not shitty. I mean, it was a fucking wooden baseball bat
From
lying around. No, we stole it, didn't we?
No, that was mine.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
It was already broken.
No, we
I
stole the
think.
plastic ones off of the playground that one night.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that was a late night.
It was a baseball.
Oh
bat.
god.
No, but it was a wooden baseball bat, and I went backstage because I had brought it with me, obviously. And I think Eddie and Michael from the Stay Forward were standing back there. Maybe Bobby was there too. And I fucking grabbed the baseball bat and I looked them in the eye and I was like, "You guys ready for this shit?" And I think Eddie was like, "No." And I fucking, as Jerry was fucking smashing the cab, I fucking came up with the baseball bat and fucking started wailing on it. And that bat splintered into pieces, and the top half of that bat is actually in my trunk right now.
Oh yeah.
People were into it, man.
People love that shit.
Except for like the group of 4 goth chicks sitting right in front of the stage,
They're
like
too
all the
cool
way
for
stage
school.
right.
Yeah, they were
we were
mortified.
walking
They were
off, and they
pissed.
looked fucking horrified. Like,
But yeah, like back to the flying V, like so for some reason I don't know why I thought this was a good
I
idea.
told you not to.
And Jake literally told me not to. I was like, oh, I'll be fine. But I cut a slit in the top head, which I was like gonna do the whole time, and then I was like, for some reason I cut a slit in the bottom head as well.
I told him not to.
And I don't know why I cut like, because I obviously didn't want to break my guitar. Like it's my nicest guitar that I have, and fucking. For some reason, I cut the bottom head, and I was like, all right, I just got to make sure not go through both of them, and it was just so much adrenaline, dude. I went straight through both of them and broke the headstock.
It's expensive.
But shout out to Micah Bruce at Bruce & Sons in Omaha, because that headstock repair is the cleanest shit I've ever seen. You cannot tell it's even there.
Nice.
And then at the end of
God.
it all, I got in on the action because I have a Pearl Icon rack that I have my toms and all my cymbals on. I just got up and I just fucking knocked it off the drum riser.
And that's
Didn't
like
break
your
any
nice
cymbals,
kit,
though.
like.
Yeah, I told at the time I didn't have both my toms mounted on it. I had one tom still mounted on my kick drum, and the rack tom that was actually on the rack. I told the sound guy, "Don't put a mic on this because I'm going to knock it over." And he was like, okay."
He had no fucking
And like
clue.
that's
Yeah.
kind of the point of.
I
Like,
mean, he was about it, man.
Yeah, he was like,
loved it.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the whole point of like the Silence is Madness like experience is like, because there's so many bands that just go up there and play and they're great at doing it.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it's like, you know, like if we want to stand out, especially in a market that's so oversaturated by just bands, you know, like why not add some flair? You know,
Just get fucking weird.
do you
People
think-
love weird shit.
I've been in
fucking
bands of
love
bands
it.
that don't do this, but do you think bands are losing out when they're just playing with their laptop the whole time?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
feel
depends.
so.
It depends.
It depends on how
like
you
I
do
said,
it.
Yeah.
there is a market for everything.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
guess if it's tied
if
to a
it-
light show or like whatever.
Right.
et cetera,
and,
yeah.
and if it's working for you, I mean, if you're getting a following, I mean, we're living in an age where popularity is decided by true democracy.
Like I
When
wouldn't.
it comes to like the entertainment industry. So I mean, if you have a following, you're clearly doing something
For sure.
right.
Totally.
Do not play with a click live.
Yeah.
It
At
really
all.
just depends on what your band is going for.
Like I wouldn't be against it doing something like that, but at the same time we're like so like, you know,
We like to do our own
like
shit.
crazy. Like I feel like if we did that, we would be too confined to a
That's what I
certain
mean,
We,
yeah.
thing.
we don't
you
we
know?
don't like to stay on track.
And
Right.
We like to see what happens when we fly off the fucking rail.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
true.
that'd be
We
a
wing it a lot too.
I think that'd be a disservice to you guys to do that.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
At the
Yeah.
same time, we've also had a policy for the longest. Not policy. We're not fucking Washington. We've just had a thing in the band
gonna
for
do
a
it.
long time that we don't wear band T-shirts on stage. Number one, because that's so cliche.
Overdone.
Everybody does
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And number two, I think Jesse was the one that pointed out, like, you go see a band, they're all wearing band T-shirts, and then immediately you're like, oh, I see why they sound
And,
like
like,
that. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, they
for
sound
sure,
like
for sure.
Yeah, that's a
Iron
good
Maiden.
point.
They
That's-
sound like Metallica. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's
That's just
nothing
kinda-
wrong with wearing your inspirations on your sleeve, but I mean, when you're wearing it on your chest, it's a
That's-
different story.
That's just kind of how like we feel
Wow.
in general about like logos and stuff.
I'm funny.
Just because like we're all gearheads in the band, you know, like
Fucking
we love our
funny.
gear and stuff, and like you know, we all play music and stuff. But it's like whenever you go see a show, you know, like especially for us, you know, like the first thing that we do is go to the front of the stage and see what gear.
Yeah,
people
look at
have.
their pedal board,
You know,
dude, or whatever.
And then it's just like half the time we end up watching, you know, like the band shirt or like the gear more than we end up watching the band.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of the whole like philosophy behind like no logos, no band
It's a
T-shirts.
distraction.
Is that you know like
You're
it's
here to
not
watch
be
the show,
disrespectful,
you know?
It's you know like when you're here to watch Sim, you know like we're here to put on
Yeah.
a show for you.
We don't want you to be distracted by anything else.
Yeah.
So how do you guys kind of find balance in your lives? I know you guys can't like play music 7 days all day, but what do you guys do to kind of separate yourself from the music at sometimes? Like what keeps you guys going? I'm sure you all have different things.
I
Like
don't
hobbies and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean like not so much that, but like is there like kind of a group hobby, I guess you would call it, that you kind of keeps you guys socialized and keeps your mind off the music 24/7?
I mean,
Probably
I feel
movies.
like
Yeah.
just in general, I feel like we don't really struggle with separating, the work from the leisure. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as we're off of work mode, we pretty much snap right back into dicking around and doing whatever we want to do.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, we're also we all take it seriously of when we have practice at a certain time, we're there and our minds are on it. We're not on our phones. We're progressing.
The nice thing is that all 5 of us, respectively, can share in just about any one another's hobbies.
Totally,
Like, I
yeah.
can share in Mason's hobbies, Jeff can share in Kent's hobbies, Jesse and I can share in each other's hobbies. I mean, like, me, Jesse, and Mason went down to Tucson last week to go to the Air and Space Museum.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It was
But-
closed when we got there, but we're gonna get back there.
That
We went
sucks.
there. We didn't go
We
in.
went there.
We went there.
Yeah.
No, but you got to experience Tucson. Wonderful,
Oh boy.
wonderful fucking Tucson.
Hey, we're not gonna say
It was like driving on a
anything
rumble strip
but
for 4
positive
hours.
things about Tucson while we still live an hour and a half from
I'll
it.
say.
They can.
They don't
come
know
here.
how to use computers.
They're
they
coming,
can't
Ken.
get on this podcast.
Ken, they got 64K modems now. They're getting there.
It's like us shitting on Winslow. They don't have internet.
Well, yeah, that's Winslow.
But yeah, I mean,
There's like 6 people.
They also don't have any lobster.
we like to
That's true.
we like to like go out and like go on rides and shit. Like I have a 1-wheel. Jesse bikes like literally everywhere. I got Kent and Mason into electric skateboarding.
Nice.
So we'll like go out and
good
Biking too. I just need
Yeah.
to buy a bike. He was
You
out
need
of
to get
town
on that,
I
bro.
rode away.
But yeah, like we love taking like group rides just around the neighborhood. Or like Tempe's like super dope. We'll go out there and just like ride around. But
The
yeah,
important key into making this whole thing work as well as it has is that we just enjoy being around each other.
for sure.
I
Like
guess
we
that's
don't
what- I
we
guess
don't have
that's what I was
to.
asking. Like, how do you guys make it work? And it seems like you guys are very successful at it, but many bands can't do that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
we hang
like,
out all the time. Like
Yeah.
we're not like we're not like all always in our own fucking world. Like we like watch movies all the time together, and like I really like almost when we all moved in together, I was like, oh shit, like I hope we're not gonna butt heads or anything. Not that I thought we were, but like
You never
just a
know. When
fear.
you're thrust
You
into
never
a new
really-
environment, you
Right.
don't know somebody until
You never know somebody until you live with them.
yeah, but like we all like mesh so well. Like
I mean,
we haven't had any
tour
problems
was
at all.
going
And we're
on
honest
tour
with
was
each
really going on tour was really like the test run of that whole thing,
For
finding
sure.
out if we can stand each other for more
Coexist.
than
I was kind of an
3 hours at
asshole
a
on
time,
tour. to be
7 days
honest.
a week. But
I just needed to feed Jeff whenever.
Yeah, dude, I
all
get
handled
hangry,
it
dude.
well.
fucking hangry.
Justin knows
Jeff
about
just
this.
needed to eat. Jesse just needed to sleep. And Mason and I just needed to get us lost in West Virginia at 3 a.m. That's all that. That's all that needed to happen.
That sounds scary.
Hillbilly hell.
That's all
Oh
that
my
needed to
God.
happen.
So,
Oh, are we telling the story?
yeah, we're
Fuck.
telling the fucking story.
Damn it.
Wait. So I was.
How long is this show?
I don't know. How much? What's the time at? What are we
you guys
running? on?
want?
I don't know,
Shit,
whatever.
man.
We'll talk.
Whatever. All
I
right.
don't
So
care.
I was in the hot seat for this one. So
I was navigating.
I want to
Yeah.
tell my part
Sleeping.
because I at least think my part's kind of
Mason,
funny.
right.
Mason, you need to spearhead this story,
all right.
dude.
So imagine this: middle of the night. It's a 2-lane road, like switchback road. We're in an SUV hauling a trailer.
I am
switchback
responsible
road.
for this, by the way.
Like switchback is in like there's a lot of like sharp turns
it's like
and shit.
Mountainous West Virginia. So
Anxiety on top of anxiety.
yes, and so there's
Foggy.
no fog.
thick
no-
fog, thickest fog you've ever seen. Silent Hill fog.
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
There's about one street light every 10 minutes, if you're lucky.
Speed limit's 50. The speed limit's 65, but because of all the turns, we were going like 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see that. Yeah.
And so every once in a while we'd happen upon these like small, like desolate houses that you do not want to knock on the door on if you break down.
It was
You're
some
just like-
Resident Evil shit.
settlement.
man.
Yeah. Well, they're scattered settlements, I guess, but just,
Like Resident Evil 4 shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
House.
Exactly like Resident
I
Evil
was in the
4.
back seat. It was 3 a.m. Apparently, the reason they took this back ass fucking road is because they still had avoid tolls on.
Oh,
So I remember waking up in
Fine,
the
I
back
didn't want to
seat.
tell the story anyway.
Jimmy Crack corn soup, I care, Jake.
I don't care. No, but fucking I woke up, I looked up, and it was foggy as shit. It was a single lane winding road with Resident Evil fucking houses at every stop. And I remember waking up, looking around, and thinking, I'm not dealing with this. And I went right back to fucking
Okay,
sleep.
go on, Mason.
Yeah. So this continues for what, like
An hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a while. So then we're like, well, fuck, we just need to get right back onto the interstate and just get to the interstate where there's some sign of civilization. So
We were just scared to death of breaking down, and we had our buddies come on tour with us, Luke and Anders, and they were in the car behind us along with Jesse. Jesse was sleeping in their car.
He's
Good
always
call.
asleep, dude.
Jesse fast traveled that whole tour, dude.
we drive
Like,
like
that
a
tour
half
was-
an hour anywhere, and he's just asleep in the back.
Yeah, that tour
Yeah.
is half as long for Jesse as the rest of us.
Jesse remembers the
I can't
shows, and
sleep
that's
in a
it.
car to save my life.
I don't know how he. No, I don't either. I can't. I don't know how he fucking does it. I
So,
try.
like, we
I can't
went
sleep
to-
on a plane either.
We went to
Yeah.
Winslow, Arizona yesterday, and I was asleep for the majority of the
Yeah.
ride.
Oh, that's a
I looked in the
luxury,
back
man.
seat. He's fucking gone.
Yeah, I can't do that to save my
We
life.
got back. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, because I always offer it, like everybody else the front seat because it's so much easier to sleep in the back seat. Because if there's somebody next to you, you can just curl up with them.
Yeah.
Because like then if you're in the front seat, then you're like obligated to navigate. You're
Right.
obligated to stay awake for the person in the front seat. If you're in the back seat, you can chill.
Even if he's in the front seat, he's still fucking asleep.
I'm
dude.
still asleep,
Somehow.
man.
Oh yeah,
Still asleep.
dude. Yeah. So we ended up getting back on the road towards the right road at least like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. And as soon as we passed the first toll booth, we stopped at a truck stop, and Mason and I were like, "All right, we're making these assholes drive. We're going to sleep."
Yeah.
And that is exactly
were
what
upset.
happened. Yeah, they were mad.
I was
dude.
fucking pissed
I
off,
wasn't
dude.
mad.
I was
I was
Okay,
like,
he
bro.
was mad.
okay with
Jeff was
driving.
mad.
Yeah.
Jeff was mad
Jeff
for
was
like
mad.
90% of
There's
the tour.
there's
Jeff's always mad.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not really, bro. I have two moods. I'm either pissed off or enthusiastic, bro.
Yeah, you're either Mr.
Or
Booty Butthole or the
enthusiastically.
off-road.
Yeah. But like, yeah,
Sneakers endorsement just for Jeff.
like you either gotta feed me or feed me, dude.
He's a fucking gremlin.
Jeff's a
Yeah.
feeder, that's confirmed.
You either
Yeah,
gotta feed him or
Feed
you gotta.
me,
I'm not that much of an asshole. Come on,
all
dude.
night
Come on,
long.
give me some credit, bro.
Yeah.
Long stories, you guys got safely to civilization, right?
No, we're
yeah.
ghosts.
No,
this
we're
is
still
all in
there.
your head.
Oh, shit.
Dude, you have to. The accident wasn't your fault, man. You gotta wake up. Dude, but that's the thing. Like when Jeff and I took over driving, it sucks because we went to what was it? Charleston is that the
Yeah.
capital of West Virginia?
Yeah,
Fucking
It was so
prettiest
sick,
fucking
dude.
city ever.
Yeah.
Like the entire city is just covered in trees. Like there were buildings popping out of trees in the middle of this valley. Like that was just covered in greenery and
Yeah, it was really
topography and
I
was-
was aslead.
I want to go
covered in
back there really
topography.
bad.
I think
no,
I
would
earned
love
that.
to go back to down
Have you guys
Charleston.
thought about kind of making like episodes the next time you guys do this?
Wait, episodes of what?
Like episodes of the next tour you guys plan?
Dude,
oh,
we
we
yeah.
should have. Yeah.
Well, our friend Anders, she took a bunch of videos the whole tour, and I think she's still working on a like documentary, air quotes, of just like the compiled footage.
That's gonna be gold one day. I know that,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
If you guys could piece together your dream tour, who would it be with?
Like
Shit,
with
like-
with us on the bill.
Yeah, of course.
Shit.
Rush with resurrected Neil Peart. That's
Oh
yeah.
yes.
yeah,
that'd be fun.
the ghost of Neil Peart.
Bands right now.
2007 Avenged Sevenfold.
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Live in the
Yeah.
LBC
Yeah.
event. sometime.
no, let's go with like right now.
Like
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
I think Ghost would be fucking.
Oh yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like we could.
Honestly, we would
mesh
fit well with Ghost. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
As much as I just want to throw this in there, as much as I love Iron Maiden, I would not want to open for Iron Maiden.
Yeah, that'd be.
Iron
Yeah.
Maiden fans are rude, dude.
This is an
Yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, dude. They all just like I saw Iron Maiden once in 2016.
Ozfest.
They're my favorite band of all time, and the opening band, the whole crowd was stiff, bro. They all looked like mannequins, man.
Yeah.
If it's
I
not,
would not want that job.
Yeah, totally.
Do you guys have any plans to kind of take it international one day?
well,
absolutely.
we keep fucking half joking, half like honestly that would look good on the
Yeah.
EDK of now that we're out here on the West Coast.
International
talking about, 'cause I mean, yeah,
Did you forget your thought?
yeah.
Well,
There's nothing in there anyway. No, but yeah, that was the point. Is because I mean, obviously, in the last tour we went to the East Coast and back, and now that we're out here, we're like, oh shit, we can go to LA, go up through fucking like Bakersfield and Fresno and the Bay Area, which I mean, there's nothing in Bakersfield, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like once we get down to up to San Francisco, then we can play in Seattle and Portland. and then we can get up to Vancouver. And technically, at that point, that's an international tour, so we could label it as such.
Dude, you hate Bakersfield, man.
Bakersfield smells like shit. And that's because Bakersfield is made out of shit.
You think it'd smell nice being with all the pies being baked and all that? It's just,
Hey, I get it.
Where's all the
baked
bakers
goods.
in this field, dude?
Shut the fuck.
Honestly, dude.
The cows are the bakers, and they're making some mean mud pies.
I was gonna say, dude.
So before I let you guys go, I want to talk about your upcoming shows. You guys want to plug that?
Totally.
May 26th,
yeah.
Rebel Lounge.
Oh shit!
Was that a Thursday?
That's a Thursday.
Next
Yeah.
Thursday.
Right now, other than that, we just talked to Winter Haven about doing a show on June 18th at Yucca in Tempe.
And then you possibly hold up. Let me pull it up.
We're trying to hopefully maybe get some shows in LA. Nothing's for sure yet, but I mean,
And we
I
might
reached out to a couple of people.
we might also have one on August 13th at Sage and Sand, possibly with Brett's band.
Where's
That's a fun
Simply
little place
Outrageous.
to play.
Where's that?
It's like 20 minutes north of here.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
It's about 20
Oh yeah.
minutes.
So
without traffic.
keep an eye out.
Yeah,
We'll probably get plenty more than just that.
yeah, I mean, at this point, we're kind of trying to
Stay
obviously
busy.
not oversaturate, but I mean, we're a new band. No one has
want
seen
to
us,
expose.
so
Keep an
like
eye
we
out
want to
for-
kind of play as many shows as possible
Keep
if
an
we
eye
can.
out for the Sarcophagus. No official release date yet, but it's coming.
Hell yeah!
So what's
It's
the best?
coming.
Instagram, Facebook was the best way to reach out to you guys.
We got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pornhub, Grindr,
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
AOL,
Only-
Instant Messenger.
AOL.
We have OnlyFans. We have OnlyFlans.
Yes, this is
that's
new.
where we do our baking channel.
Yes.
You can page us.
Shit, we do have a subreddit. It's called r/chess in odd places.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
this
that's
is
where we
actually we need to like work
We
harder
need to
on
get,
that.
no,
Yeah.
we keep talking about it. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's us playing chess in odd places.
Like
man.
we did
Yeah.
one where we're like they're like on the train tracks, and we had someone go like 50 yards away and turn their flashlight on so it looks like there's a train coming.
That was me. I was standing like 50 yards away. Like
Me and Kent were perpendicular to
it
the.
was Jesse.
It was Jesse. I wasn't there for
Oh
that.
shit, that's right. It was me and Jesse. We were perpendicular to the train tracks on like a main street. Just like
Very
it was
late
just
at night.
A shot down
What
the tracks.
what other ones are on Chess and Odd Places?
Well,
Josh battle.
people started
The
like
Josh
up-
battle.
Oh shit. Yeah, I
There's
forgot
the
about
one
the
in
Josh
the.
battle.
There's the one in the bathtub. There's the one on
Yeah,
the
that
pool
one's good.
table.
That-
There's the one on the basketball court.
Yeah.
For anybody that's savvy in fucking internet
Meme
bullshit,
world.
yeah.
Hello,
if
Twitter world.
everybody remembers the Josh battle that happened last year,
I got it.
I did the OJ Simpson Hello Twitter World meme.
Hello, Twitter.
no, if everybody remembers the famous Josh battle that happened in Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, we only live an hour away from that. So we saw that. Me and Jerry had the day off, and we thought, okay, let's go. And we took the band merch, plugged the band, and we actually sold like a good $150 worth of stuff.
That's crazy, bro.
But we also like set up a
Brought the
chessboard,
chessboard.
and people came up and they were like, "Can I play you in chess?"
Dude,
and we
these
were like,
people
"Sure."
came for blood.
And,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and
wasn't even there.
I mean, based on the demographic of people that would go to the Josh battle, some of them were fucking nerds.
Like us. That's why we
Like
were at the Josh
us.
battle.
What? Were you gonna kiss me?
No, you're a nerd.
Yeah, you're right.
We are
No,
nerds.
but like,
Play the flute.
it just sucked because there was. I'll play your flute.
You won't kiss
Hey
him,
now.
but
All right, shoot your story.
It's not a video podcast. We
yeah,
can
it's
do
true.
this.
I was just gonna say this.
I've had my dick out this whole time. You don't know.
Ow, Ken, put it away.
You don't know.
Ken, finish your damn story.
Anyways, no, there was a line of people wanting to play chess, and it was funny because we had some fucking people that took it way too seriously and took like 5 minutes to do a turn, and I'm like, bro, there are people waiting.
We had like 15 people in line, and the whole thing was if you beat us in chess, you get a free T-shirt.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's and enough. Yeah, it was.
Where's my T-shirt?
Yeah, there was one guy who beat me.
Oh my God.
That took it way too seriously, and everybody else like just went ahead and was like, I'm just gonna buy it anyway because they were
can't
trying to
see
support
my
us, which is
forehead.
fantastic. And then there was one guy that was like, "Where's my T-shirt?" After he beat me, I'm like, "Here you fucking go, dude."
Rude ass motherfucker.
But,
Jesus.
I mean, whatever. That was the deal.
well, now he's wearing our merch.
No.
Anyway,
Anyway, before I let you go,
Where are you going?
This is our show now.
This is my podcast now, man. You're outnumbered.
This is now the Harry Men.
The Harry Men show.
If you could be,
Yes.
if you could be any type of bird,
Okay.
what would you be?
Mordecai.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Raven.
Regular show.
What?
Regular show. Cartoon Network. You know? Oh, well, get out.
Yeah, you're out of the bin.
Is that like a Paula Deen thing?
Oh, that's a
Kent, for the love of God,
coming of age
more
story.
high-
stop doing it.
Kent shows his age sometimes. You know?
I don't watch them cartoons.
I have limbago.
I've got the embargo.
Well, in closing, I have you guys on the show because I have a really good feeling about you guys and good vibes. I
Thank you, man.
wholeheartedly would support what you guys do, and yeah, you guys are going to do great.
Hell yeah.
So once
Thanks,
again,
man. Thank you.
thanks for having Silence
Hell
is
yeah.
Madness.
Check us out. Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is Silence is Madness Band. Obviously, Facebook, just look us up. And then our
Silence is Madness.
our Twitter is basically just reposts from Instagram and stuff. But I mean, follow if you want, bro.
Yeah.
And then
Do
yeah.
something with it eventually.
26th at the Rebel Lounge. You better be there, bro. Tickets are $13. Are pre-sales any less?
I don't think so.
I think pre-sales.
But
Don't
anyway.
mention the podcast.
If I just leaked
Just
our
fucking do
address
it.
right now and told people to come get tickets.
Apply code Harry Man Show.
We're gonna get doxxed.
All right, guys. Thank you. And you guys all have a good one.
Okay,
Thanks,
love you.
bro.
Hell yeah.
All right.